And I think that was the thing that Bernie brought out in all of us, compassion for each other, and that really the outside didn't matter. Didn't matter who you were, what you looked like, what religion, what race. It didn't matter anymore. He brought us all together. And it's really a movement of love, which is why I think it can't be stopped. I really think our movement cannot be stopped. And Bernie stumping for Hillary, we all just go, yeah, whatever. We're not voting for her. We love seeing you again, Bernie. This is great, but yeah, we're not going to vote for her. There will be never Hillary signs and Jill not Hill all over the place.
Right.
At his rally, because I want to go to his rallies just to hold up the Jill not Hill sign.
Right.
And boo every time he says Hillary.
I agree with you. I agree with you, Claudia. My thing is this: why are so many people being so hard on Bernie, knowing that without Bernie, most of us would not be activated at this point? How do you feel about that?
Right. Oh, I never let him get away with it. If somebody says Bernie's a sellout, I really lose it, because he had 30 years to be a sellout, or 50 years to be, to get money from corporations like everybody else. He is the only non-millionaire in the Senate, the only one. And then this big thing that you, I'm sure, know about, with his house for $600,000 on the lake.
Yeah.
The man worked his whole life. Right. So did his wife. If they want to buy themselves a house that is on a lake, so the grandkids have a reason why they really want to visit grandpa, that's perfectly fine. He worked like a dog his whole life, And so, and it's certainly not his campaign money. When people say that, I really go over the edge,
See, they need to come to D.C. where I'm at, Claudia. I'm in Maryland, but I'm from D.C. and $600,000 would not buy you a nice house in D.C. Like you would pay that for like a brownstone on a crowded street with no backyard to speak of. Definitely, if you want to live by the water, you would pay close to $1 million in this area for that. So, yeah, they totally have no real concept of money when it comes to people with money. Like, it sounds like a lot. It depends on where you live at, and that's not a lot. It definitely not comparison.
The thing is, the house that he actually bought on the lake is actually a very modest log cabin. Yeah. It's not a pompous house. There are homes on the lake here in Burlington that are, 10, 20, $30 million. Wow. Those homes exist, but that is not one of those homes. It's really a small log cabin home, on the lake with a little bit of land, not much, and just enough to literally have the grandkids over for a barbecue, and property on the lake is expensive. It's not a pompous house whatsoever. It really isn't, And, but Bernie, to me, has done more for this country and for world awareness than anybody else in my lifetime,
Absolutely.
And we should be immeasurably grateful no matter what he does now. It doesn't really matter, because we know better and we're going to do what we need to do.
Yes.
And he can, he does what he needs to do. And I say needs to do because I don't think he wants to do that.
Understood.
I don't think he wants to do what he is trying to do, what he has to do now. And when you look at his facial expressions, that tells you everything,
Yeah.
My heart goes out to him. My heart truly goes out to him. Because I was in New Hampshire when he endorsed Hillary. And that was just, wow. I was so heartbroken, but he was more heartbroken.
Yeah,
it was a very
I've been talking to some of the delegates who were in the hall when he actually did when they did the nomination process at the DNC in Philly, and they said they could see the total discomfort. He looked like he was in physical pain, even saying these things to them that he had to say, and They're still talking. Delegates are still talking about it. I can, they're still dealing with that moment.
Yeah. It was brutal.